What's going on today, you guys? So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a question that I see pretty often, and surprisingly often, on forums online. And that is, should you get the KRK Rokit 5 active studio monitors or the KRK Rokit 6 passive studio monitors? It's essentially, a little comparison between the KRK active and KRK passives. If you guys don't know about KRK systems, they began manufacturing the studio monitors back in about 2003 with the KRK ROKIT G1s, Generation 1s. We are currently in 2020 and you are looking at the KRK ROKIT G4 8s. These are active monitors, just so you know, not super important to know, but that's what you're looking at right here. Now, when you're looking between the two, the most important thing to know is what's the difference between an active and passive monitor. It's pretty much commonly understood that active monitors have a built-in amp. So the KRK Rokit Active 5s, they have a built-in amplifier. This means you don't need an external amp to drive them or use them. Passive monitors, on the other hand, such as the KRK Rokit 6s, do need an external amp to drive them. And this means that you're going to need some extra pieces to get them to work. In passive designs and in the passive KRK Rokit 6s, the monitor contains a set of passive components, and this is going to split the input signal into various frequency bands required for each driver. The high-level input signal required to drive the speaker is going to come from that external amplifier that you choose. Now, in active designs, the cabinet houses multiple power amplifiers. So in this active monitor that you're looking at right now, each amp has a driver. And in power systems, there's usually one amp that's powering both drivers, and that's via normal sort of passive crossover that's all housed in here. Cool thing is, with active monitors, you really have nothing to worry about, nothing to stress about. You don't need any other extra rack gear or any other amplifiers to set these up. You simply plug them in to your outlet in your house or studio, connect them to your interface, and boom, you're good to go. The crossovers in active systems are typically more detailed, a lot more accurate. They provide really precise frequency splitting, and it's just, they've taken the time to really best match the amp to the driver that's in here. But on the disadvantage is that you don't get that same flexibility if you want it. Now, this is the reason that a lot of professional studios around the world use passive monitors, because you have the ability to find what you think might be the best amplifier for your monitors and set them up that way to drive them. And setting up your KRK Rokit 6 passive monitors, for example, with different amplifiers can actually change the color, change the output, and change just a lot about the sound. And that can be really, really cool for people who, like to be more flexible with their systems. Now, of course, if you buy active monitors, they might be more off the bat, but you actually might end up spending a bit more once you buy your amplifier if you purchase passive monitors, which, depending on what kind of budget you're on, may not be in the cards. If I were to have to, say which one that you should get, I think as a home producer, as a home mix engineer, or someone who works just on their own, not in a huge professional studio, go with active monitors. They're so much easier. It's all in one. You don't have to worry about anything else. On the other hand, if you like that flexibility, if you want to be able to mix and match different components, passive monitors are really cool. They're more of a modular sort of setup for those who are into that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or any insights into whether you think active or passive KRKs are better or worse, please feel free to let me know in the comments. All right, take it easy.